What's up with the squad? Back with another video. Y'all see the title is going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it in the title right here. It says here, ICE raids are cruel, inhumane, and do nothing to serve public safety. This is posted by Zohran Mamdani. He says his responsibility is to be the mayor to each and every person that calls this city their home. That includes millions of immigrants, of which I am one. This is a post by Zohran Mamdani right after the White House meeting. Check out what he says.
When I met with the president, I made very clear that these kinds of raids are cruel and inhumane, that they are raids that do nothing to serve the interests of public safety, and that my responsibility is to be the mayor to each and every person that calls this city their home. And that includes millions of immigrants, of which I am one.
Well, you know, he's continuing. And one thing about it, I knew this was gonna happen. I knew others knew this was gonna happen because obviously, you know, you had people like, oh, don't trust President Trump. I mean, don't trust Zohran Mamdani. Y'all I did not mean that. Don't trust Zohran Mamdani, which people do say, you know, that too, of course. But the Recklezz family, as y'all get in the comments and say, don't trust Zohran Mamdani. You know, and I see that, you know, a lot. And like I've said, you know, to a lot of people, is that one thing about it is that President Trump knows what he's doing. It's one of those things, you know, keeping our enemy closer. You know, and that's, you know, obviously what he's doing. And on top of that, again, President Trump got some stuff in place. After this meeting, it doesn't, you know, stop with Zohran Mamdani. Again, I knew this was what happened. He says last week, ICE arrested and separated a father and son after a routine check-in. 6-year-old Yogzin, I don't know how to pronounce that name right here, Yogzin or something, had just enrolled in the first grade at an elementary school in Astoria. Now he's in custody alone. ICE won't say where. The cruelty serves no one. It must end. So one thing about it, this doesn't surprise me that Zohran Mamdani is making these different posts and saying this and saying that. Obviously, we've seen it coming. But one thing about it is that he's only messing himself over, you know, when it comes down to it. Literally, this is a post from New York Times. New York State has released nearly 7,000 known illegal migrant criminals without notifying ICE since President Trump took office. So they're obviously protecting, you know, when it comes down to it. And it's literally over 7,000 individuals. And it's definitely sickening. Says here, New York has released almost 7,000 dangerous illegals back onto the streets after vowing not to work with ICE officials. New York has refused to honor their detainee request since January, has since released 6,947 illegals tied to 29 homicides, over 2,500 assaults, 199 burglaries, that's pretty crazy, 305 robberies, 392 drug crimes, 300 weapons offenses, and I'm telling y'all, it definitely gets worse. Says an additional 7,113 illegals remain in state custody and could be potentially released under existing sanctuary policy in New York. So not only did they release 7,000, nearly 7,000, they're going to release over 7,000 more. Literally says here, instead of working with DHS to have these criminals removed from our country, New York City officials have decided to release them back into the streets, literally to obviously terrorize American citizens. And it's definitely sickening to me. It definitely is. I'm telling y'all, this is obviously, you know, this is a post by ICE. Says right now over 7,000 known criminal illegal aliens are serving time in New York City's jails. New York City's sanctuary policy allows jails to ignore ICE detainees and free criminal illegal aliens back to the community upon their release. Check it out.
Or of justice. We're seeing that these criminal illegal aliens are exiting the jails and going back onto New York or Chicago or these other sanctuary streets to re-perpetuate their crimes. Today, in New York City's jails are 7,169 criminal illegal aliens. We're talking about hundreds of murders, hundreds of sexual predators, drug traffickers, the worst of the worst. Dan Goldman and these other sanctuary city politicians, they should agree to hand over those individuals, honor those detainers, and then we won't have to flood the zone with our ICE law enforcement. We won't have to put those men and women on the ground because we will get these vicious criminals out of New York City's jails.
Definitely insane, definitely wild, and definitely sad that they're continue to allow this to happen. There's a post by Nick Shelley. If y'all didn't check out my last video, he was actually in my last video as well. Literally says New York City Canal Street is back and bigger than ever before. Literal blocks of filled with these counterfeit dealers from Africa. Says most of these men came under Biden after Trump's admin cut funding for the migrant shelters illegals have now restored to dealing on Canal Street. I'm telling y'all.
I'm here on Canal Street, Canal and Broadway, and all of the counterfeit sellers, vendors, everything else, you name it, are back here on the block. You have streets completely filled. This street right here is filled. All the way over there is filled. Back around's filled. And all the way down here, full of counterfeit sellers. And then none of these sellers will want to show their face on camera. In fact, if they see you filming, they'll start filming you as well. This is what's happening. There was a raid that took place here on Canal Street just a few weeks ago, but now all of the vendors are back. And not only are they back, they're back by the tenfold.
Definitely sickening, y'all. Definitely sickening. And this is exactly why President Trump will be sending more and more, as well as Tom Homan. Says here, Tom Homan sends a message to all Democrat governors who say they're going to stand in his way to make it harder to deport illegal aliens out of the United States. Check it out.
Some of these Democratic governors say they're going to stand in the way. They're going to make it hard for us. Well, a suggestion. If you're not going to help us, get the hell out of the way because we're going to do it. So if we can't get assistance from New York City, and we may have to double the number of agents we send in New York City because we're going to do the job. We're going to do the job without you or with you. Some of these Democratic
Y'all heard it. Going to do the job with you or without you. That's just how it is. And I'm telling y'all, one thing about it, you constantly have, mess going on. Constantly. Says here, anti-IS protesters currently have federal agents blocked inside a garage. I've showed this video before. It's definitely disgusting, that they're constantly doing this. They're doing it in the streets when they see a ICE vehicle. They're doing it, when it comes to garages. It's extremely dangerous. I've said this multiple times that, you even have cops that walk up to your car sometimes and say, for our safety and yours, this is definitely something like that. We don't want that. You're literally blocking. You don't know nothing that going. This right here is literally dangerous. I don't care what anybody say. You're literally having individuals block you in. That's extremely dangerous to me. And I truly don't see how they think this is okay to do. I truly don't see how this is okay to do. I'm telling y'all. Definitely got to do something about it. So I showed y'all this post, and the reason why I did that is to just go to show you that a lot of these people actually aren't even protesters. They're doing it by getting paid. And this individual, that is a New York resident, is literally spilling it all. Says they are paying people $200 in New York City to protest ICE, and they are paying for their lawyers. Literally. Definitely insane, y'all. Let me see if I can get this back on here. Check it out.
Just got offered $200 to go protest ICE right here in New York City. There's an organization called the Kings. Basically, on June 14, they're going to have a big protest. They're recruiting people, telling you people where they got to go, what streets to be in. They're also going to be delivering bricks in case they have to defend themselves. The craziest part is they said if you get arrested, you will be provided with a lawyer free of charge to get you out of jail. Like, this is insane. Now, since I'm Latino, they probably saw me as an easy target, mostly going after Latinos like me, but what they don't know is that I'm a legal immigrant here, and I would not sell on my country for $200. Actually, I would not sell on my country for any amount because this country has given me so much to me and my family. There's no way I'm gonna sell out. But think about all the people who need the money right now and taking the bait, to go protest. This is some scary crap. I mean, the fact that you have to pay people to go protest is insane, and people are going to fall for it because people do need the money. What do you guys think about this crazy scam? And did I do the right thing by refusing to sell out my country? Please leave me a comment below.
But one thing about it, I feel like that's like something still insane to do, but people will do it. Obviously, if it's just not this one-time thing, if they're literally paying $200 a day, there are a lot of people that will take that. People that's going through, a lot of things, and I'm not making no excuse for them because I feel like nobody should, when it comes to especially people. Would you rather take that 200, and what, do whatever with it, and because that's usually what people tend to do, or would you actually, don't take the 200 and actually want that change, and hope the better and want the better and pray for the better for your country? I truly just don't. I truly don't understand that, y'all. I truly don't understand that. But y'all let me know your comments, thoughts down below. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love to everybody. Catch y'all next one.